Looks like we got some people on YouTube already watching the show. That's cool. Blazing Tomato, It's a Smith Thing, Harvey Spiderweb, Philosophy, Young Flash, lots of people. Thanks for coming and joining us. A little bit early. We're going to be probably about 15 minutes before Brant shows up. This is going to be a very chill stream today. We're just going to be hanging out playing the game. I thought we kind of deserved a little bit of a rest. We've had a lot of rapid fire, big announcement streams and stuff like that for the next little while, but we just didn't happen to have a guest today. So Brant and I are going to be hanging out, listening to you guys' input into how we should be playing, and just goofing around. Thank you, Rocksteady, for saying you love this game. I've actually been playing it a lot more at home than I have historically, just because I want to catch the problems you guys are catching. So I've made it part of my usual routine. I'm an inverter and Brant is not, and I don't want to change the controls. So, oh good, I can pass it off to Brant.
You're ruining everything.
Pretty much. That's my job.
All my hard work on your...
This isn't mine. This is Nigel's.
Oh, Nigel.
Get off my back.
Oh my God, are we playing? We're not playing Nightmare, are we?
Oh no, this is me failing on standard.
What? Geoffrey.
Oh, you want to do it here?
Yeah, come on.
All right,
Wait a minute. You're setting me up for failure.
Oh,
here.
absolutely. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's my entire job at the studio, is to set you up for failure.
Excellent.
So my job today is going to be to practice reading the chat, which is something I'm very bad at doing while Brant plays the game. We're doing a backseat drivers kind of thing, so you guys are going to be telling us how to play. We're going to be doing our best. Brant's going to be trying to survive, even though I just completely used all of my stamina and got myself surrounded by zombies. Oh, some of us like to eat snacks. That's pretty smart.
Have you ever played our game, bro?
So I was telling them I have been playing it at home more often than I used to, and I'm playing on standard, and I still just am getting work periodically. I don't have enough outposts. I've been really, really wanting to get a computers expert, and I found a programmer out in the wild. I was so happy, and I brought her home, and there was like a siege going on, and a juggernaut, and a million plague zombies, and she got completely eaten as soon as I got her home. And I'm like, okay, maybe we need to work on our follower AI, because she was just diving into battle. And I'm like, you're already half dead.
That's right.
I saved her from like a plague heart or something. It was ridiculous.
I should reload.
Oh, boy.
Vincent says, in before chat tells him to jump off a cliff again.
Oh, I will.
So Autumn Gaming points out that my hair is blue. Yes, so they voted for purple, and I did dye it purple, and then it turned blue.
Oh, you didn't
the
do
next
anything?
day. What?
Did
No.
you wash it once?
Basically, so the first time I washed it, it went blue, and then I've watched it every day since then because that's what humans do, and so it's gotten lighter and lighter blue each time.
I'd get my money back.
I kind of like this color blue though. It goes better. I don't have a lot of purple clothes, so this actually goes better with my wardrobe anyway. So Wade Truitt wants to know when we're going to raise the population cap on survivors. That is something that is that is on our list. We know. I'm pretty sure it's high on the wish list, the official wish list too. But it's complicated. You don't know how many hacky things we got into the game at the last minute under the assumption that communities were going to only have a maximum of 12 people.
This is making me mad.
Take that head off.
Squish.
Nice. And so every time I look into it, it's a bigger deal. I would love to do it. I think we might even want to like package it with some other stuff too. So I don't know. No promises. We don't know when, but we do know that that you guys want that, and honestly, I'd love it too. So there we go.
Over here, fuckface.
My little win condition there. Let's see. Let's see what we're looking at. Oh man, we are hurting.
How are we hurting?
We need
outposts. Yeah.
we need somebody to show up and give us a. I don't know, like Abra to show up and give us something for free.
We have turned off multiplayer. We're not accepting randos coming into our game right now.
He's getting tired.
But Zeta wants to know, so how do you feel about implementing a system for survivors to live at outposts or with playable allies? It could solve the increased survivor cap issues and add a lot of depth to the game. So Zeta, in the original like paper design of our game, we were actually planning on outposts requiring a survivor to live there, and that was the cost of outposts. And you could like maybe have as many as you wanted, but you had to pay a survivor for each one, or something like. I mean, there probably would have been a limit no matter what. But you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been how you were parceling them out: is who can you afford to give up. For the sake of simplicity, we had to make them, eventually work more like facilities, sort of merge those two ideas to be able to get it done and get it out the door. But we still like that idea. It would be a major change to the way that the game works now. And so ideas like that might belong in the realm of like future game modes or future iterations in the franchise, just because making a change like that in the middle of people's games could be disruptive. Unless we
at the least.
Yeah, unless we found the exact right way to do it. So I'm not saying like, oh, we will never do that. Of course, there's lots of opportunities where we might. That's one I wouldn't hold your breath until.
Yeah. I mean, that introduces the possibility of basically destroying people's save files, and that would be tragic.
Yeah. Justin Turbeville says that he bought the Independence Pack, and for the last 4 months hasn't been able to call the trader in. If you have problems like that, you should go to support.stateofdecay.com, because that's how you can get basically a bug put on our queue,
Yes.
so that we can try to solve it. I'm not, like, right at this moment, I'm not going to be able to look in and figure out what's going on. And Joe Swarner, who's moderating one of our chats, I believe, at least maybe who will start
YouTube, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know when he starts moderating, if he starts as soon as we go live or if he starts at 3. But he manages that stuff, and sometimes he'll know tricks that you can use to make something work in your game, even without sending us a bug. Though a lot of times he'll also send us a bug, because it shouldn't require contacting someone and doing a workaround to make normal things happen in our game. Right. So we still try to fix that stuff when we can.
I think I'm going to take this, because I really want to switch somebody.
Stop kicking.
Somebody had a... Oh, yeah, so Dominic wonders if we're ever going to be able to recruit people from the network. We've got a few different ideas for how we could work the network into recruiting, and it's... Yeah, we won't discuss them on the air, but we've got a few ideas about that, so yeah. We'll see what we can pull off. Infamous Zach would love to have a Lifeline-style map. We hear that request a lot, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes a showing on the wish list. So I haven't double-checked that. But city maps, people bring that up pretty frequently.
I was watching somebody play Lifeline. It was Fall Down. And just this weekend, and I just remember how much fun making that map was. Because we had a lot of restrictions, but that allowed us to be really crazy with the places that we would let you go. And we only had a small handful of people working on that, and that was just fun.
Yeah, and you'll notice that we never actually let you go into anywhere near any of the large buildings or anything like that, because there's no way we could pull that off.
Yeah. Danger zone?
Yeah, that's what danger zones were for, to explain why you can't go into the city. We'll have to keep that in mind for, future ideas.
Sadly, it would be harder to pull that kind of a map off now, because we have so much more stuff inside all of our buildings.
So even the downtowny buildings that we do have, like getting them to any kind of density, even at the outskirts of the city, would be hard.
Yeah.
Apparently, So Thomas Barber confirms that there is that does exist on the wish list, and he says has 2,112 votes. Votes so far.
So nothing.
So nobody cares. Okay.
Nobody cares. Oh crap.
Marshall Sharkowski suggests that we should maybe have ammo and attachments have their own tabs on the locker screen. I think we need to get the locker screen sort of on our list. We got a list of of systems in the game and interfaces in the game that we want to improve, and we did improved that one since release. It used to be, even harder to navigate, but there's definitely room for us to improve that a little further. So we'll make sure that is on the list of things we'd like to do. Okay, Thomas Rover said 212. I was about to say, I thought that most of the things on the wish list had only 3 digits or 2 digits of upvotes. So his 2112 that I quoted was accidentally exaggerated. He just had a twitchy finger on that one.
First album I ever bought with my own money, though.
Was what? Was
2112.
2112? What album
Rush.
is that? Oh, gotcha. I never bought a Rush album.
37 million years ago when I was young.
Yeah, that was probably when I was young. I think I was buying like Debbie Gibson albums at that point. So
Yeah, okay.
there we go. Dominic Godfrey suggests any possibility to have an all plague zombie difficulty mode like Heartland, only for our normal community. That is something we've discussed, but it's one of many. That's the problem. It's like so many of these ideas that come up are like, yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to do that. Oh, that sounds great. And I'm like, but we have to do only a handful of them first. And so whichever handful we happen to be doing, we've got all these others that we love that we can't do. It's like there's a line that I think Henry said to me one time, which is 90% of ideas about this game are great and will never ship. And there's like 10% that are also great that we actually could get into the game. And
that's okay. That's not just true for us. That's true for games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many. You take any game that you love, and there's so many things you could add to it. And then just it becomes a question of, well, what do you add first? And what do you add second? What do you add third? Eventually you have to stop. And 90% of the great ideas you had just didn't get in. And so I feel bad because I keep endorsing all these ideas. I'm just like, yeah, that's great. Oh, I love that idea. And I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to tell you how much I love your idea and then have it take forever to get in the game if it ever gets in at all. Because there's just limited amount of time and people and work to get this stuff done.
Squish. I think I'm gonna maybe go home.
So FreakDog69 wanted to said, I thought purple won. So purple did win, and this was purple on the day that I dyed it. And then I washed my hair. And it turns out that when you wash your hair, dye fades. And so now it's kind of this light blue color that I actually really like. I like this color almost better than I like the purple. I've brought a photo of myself with the purple hair so I could prove to people that I did do the color that you guys said.
I really liked the purple.
I liked it too, and it had a little bit of blue in the front and some it looked almost green around the roots. So it looked almost like my hair was an oil slick, and it had sort of that iridescent kind of color changey, feel to pearlescent kind of thing.
Yeah, I liked it
going on. So now it's faded to something a little bit more normal, but I'm glad I got the photo. It's on my Twitter account. If you go to @Rangatang on Twitter, you can see it.
You got it. There we go. That's what I want.
I hate it when I roll my car in real life, and everyone has to just lean to one side of the car.
Everybody lean. Uh-oh, I think I went the wrong way. I did. But there's some cool stuff down here, so I might as well check it out.
Freak Dog wants a part 2 of Lifeline, which
I am driving like a champion today.
Yeah, so Svengar says that they voted for blue, so they actually ended up getting their way in the end. So it's basically the red voters who didn't get their way with my hair. Because they're the only ones, it was all the red leached out of my hair, and so now it's just, yeah.
Okay, I thought there was some cool stuff down here.
So Cloudcraft made it to one of our streams, which is unusual. It's nice to see you, Cloudcraft. And he points out that the cameras on the top of this car are really durable. Because we've been rolling over on top of them and everything.
Yes.
And apparently they're still functional because we're still getting extended scouting capabilities.
There is cool stuff down here.
Blazing Tomato asks us if we can share anything about cut content from either of the State of Decay games. Yeah, I don't.
No, because
it's kind of tantalizing and pointless.
It is if we say what we would have done or wanted to do but didn't have time to do, people would be like, "Oh, the game would have been that much better had you been able to do it."
Your game sucks because you had so many good ideas.
Way to go, losers! No, we're not gonna talk about cut content.
Well, the thing is, we're still in the zone right now where nothing is the game isn't done yet. And so, so we can't really, it's hard to say that something is cut. Who knows what we might, be able to do in the future. It really just depends on how long this game has an audience. That's kind of how long we're going to be working on it, as long as people are still playing it in the right numbers to justify it, And so, we're some of the stuff we're focusing on right now is very specifically about trying to make sure that we're growing the audience and that people are sticking around so that we can spend as much time as possible getting as many of those cut ideas into the game as we can. We're both, and everybody else on the team is so full of things that they would have loved to do with this game if we had forever to work on it.
Oh, I have to say it.
What?
Because Undead Mark said no feature really dies, and I know exactly what was going through his head when he said it. No one ever really dies.
Oh, yeah.
And so, Mark, this is for you. No feature's ever really gone. Okay, enough.
There we go.
I've worked with Mark for like 25 years now, so
yeah. We have a lot of Star Wars fans, but we're losing one of our biggest Star Wars fans right now. Yeah, we had one of our designers is going to go to work at some other studio. We had his farewell lunch today.
Jerk.
And he's the most massive Star Wars fan at the studio, so we're gonna miss him.
Yeah. Are we? Yes, we're gonna miss him.
Yeah, mostly.
Nice.
Well, Monprance identified who it was. Monprance really watches our Twitter accounts.
Monprance.
Holy
Come
crap!
on, man.
That's all I got.
The only reason I'm not saying his name is just because it's not mine to announce or anything.
It's
so
not
yeah,
our place to.
I'm describing the experience of losing a treasured colleague without necessarily calling a bunch of attention to him.
Yeah.
Aratone wants to have kids in the game that are like a giant liability. We really want to avoid exposing kids to this kind of horror and trauma.
Yep.
So we're not doing that. If you want to see kids traumatized in a video game, though, get this War of Mine, which I have not actually played any of the scenarios with kids because I don't think I could take it. But they had an entire expansion that was about kids in a war zone. So if that's what you're looking for, go to 11 Big Studios and play their game.
Yep. Not for us.
Here. Monprance wants to know if I was going to change my profile pic to match my new hair color. And no, I kind of like the orange. The orange is kind of my color. So I think I'll leave that up by default. Though I do, if you guys follow me on YouTube, which I'm not, saying you have to, I do recolor the mohawk based on what game logo I've got to try to, match it on all my thumbnails because that's fun and because the hue slider is really easy to play with. So. Hearn the Hunter also says that this War of Mine is a great game, but really dark. Yeah, it's a very depressing game. I think I might have bought it 3 times or something on different platforms. I love that game to death. They do a really great job of depicting the same kinds of choices that we make in State of Decay, but they're doing it on a much more granular level. It's like I don't know. It's a simpler set of choices. It doesn't have the big open world to roam around in, but that means that you're actually are able to focus on those choices a lot more, and they can sort of mean more. They can put more resource pressure on you, and so that experience of trying to survive with very limited resources and very limited options, it's very good. Oh, it's past 3. We need to actually get to the proper stream, so we're gonna get out of here, guys, for 2 seconds and then come back. Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card. Over here, we got Brant Fitzgerald, and this is one of our, what are we calling these? Backseat Drivers streams? So basically what this is I'm going to be practicing reading the chat, which I'm normally very bad at doing. You guys can make suggestions about how you want us to play, and we're going to play that way. And that's basically all we're going to do for the hour. We've been doing a lot of big feature announcements and stuff like that lately, and we're tired. And so we're going to do a kind of a chill stream with you folks and just hang out for a bit.
Am I obligated to play how they want me to?
You kind of are, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily, every single idea that comes in, I'm not necessarily gonna, accept, but yeah. So I think one thing. So let's have a look at our bounties real quick, though. Let's pop into the game. Okay, so right now the bounties we've accepted are collecting meds, collecting ammo, and killing juggernauts. And we have killed 0 of the 10 juggernauts. So I think we should at least start with a rule that we have to attack every juggernaut
If we see a juggernaut,
we have to kill it.
I will pull the e-brake and go over and deal with him.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to start with just that rule. We have to kill every juggernaut we see. But I would love to hear suggestions in the chat. And anytime we run into a major decision we have to make, we'll try to prompt the chat to give us suggestions and and try to get that stuff going in the game. So,
What kind of ammo am I looking at? Man, we don't have much ammo.
so we've already jumped off a cliff. We're not doing that again.
Yeah.
That's taken care of.
Backwards driving? Oh, that's so boring.
I think we've already done that too, right? Oh, well, so I've got a question I'm going to answer in a little bit. So I feel we should have put some more preparation to this. Like, what kinds of questions should we have? Like, should we just be asking where do people want us to go? Which character they want us to play? Let's bring up our or maybe we should insist, like, what weapons should we be using? It says here, no, Mom Prance, we're not doing any roof parking.
No roof.
Smiling Phases says, okay, so Amanda.
All crossbows. I can go with that one.
Okay, so all crossbows is an idea. Amanda says kill them with melee weapons only is also an option.
I'll do the jugs with melee only.
Okay, and then Rustic Ghost also suggests maybe after we do crossbows, revolver with a break. Basically, make as much noise as possible. So, like,
I'm all about that. I like that too. Okay, we'll play a little while with melee against freaks and crossbows, and then we'll switch over to Revo as loud as I can go. Because I will bring it on. First, I'm going to make sure my toilets are clean because that's important, kids.
Yep. And I've messed up my OBS thing here. I gotta fix this. Oh, whatever. I'll drag it around. It's gonna look unprofessional because that's how we roll here.
Our base is in real
So what I need to do
trouble.
is base it on the top left position. There we go. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit more professional as we go.
Do we have power? No, we don't. We have nothing. Oh man, we're in trouble. All right, I need snacks if I'm going to go after jugs.
So we did get a question. Let's see. Oh, wait, where did it go? I had a question. Joe had posted a question in here, and now I've lost it. What? Okay, whatever.
Oh, no. Can I use it?
Sorry.
No, I can't.
Oh, hey, so King Cooter made a suggestion that we should turn off the HUD so we can't see our own health and stamina.
No, I refuse. I've done a no HUD thing, and that's
true. We did that with Fall Down a little while ago,
that is
right?
so punishing. That is, I mean, and I know like Adam Survives does that a lot, and prefers to play that way. But oh my God, how can you do it?
Rokai wants us to bring only weak painkillers with us.
Okay.
We can probably do that. We don't even need to. We just, as long as that's all we bring with us, then that basically covers it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I need to put the rule up for that.
Weak painkillers. Is that what I picked up? I can't tell.
Oh, so Rodan asked us, are there any other types of games we want to make besides undead survival? So survival fantasy games are sort of the core of our business and our expertise here. It's something we've established as something we can do. For a while, though, we actually were working on kind of a creature battler game for a little while. So clearly, that game ended up not coming out. It was in early access for a while. But we clearly have, there's a lot of people here with a lot of different tastes, and I don't think there's a genre that isn't represented by some fans in this office. I mean, lately the game that I've been playing the most of is Noita, which is very different from State of Decay. But if you guys haven't played Noita or looked it up, it's a ridiculous, weird game. It's a side-scrolling game where you're a wizard with magic wands, and like every pixel-sized chunk of the environment is simulated, so you can blow it up or set it on fire or use acid on it or whatever, and you're just constantly on fire and burning with acid yourself and running screaming through the level. and with things attacking you, and it's just madness.
That
and I
sounds
love
awesome.
it. It is actually a really good time. If I just want like 5 minutes of fun, I just jump into Noida. So there's my recommendation for.
Is that the one where every pixel is physicalized?
Yeah, every pixel
Okay.
is physicalized. Yeah.
All right.
It's insanity. It's only like $18 too. So.
I wish I had a PC.
So Mr. Echo suggests at some point we should put on the Jug Mask and grab the Negan bat and go bash a hostile enclave.
So-
Problem is we haven't unlocked the Jug Mask yet.
And it's not a Negan bat.
It
It is a bat wrapped in barbed wire.
That is true. The barbed wire bat concept, you cannot copyright design. So the
Come on.
design of that weapon is it's public domain. It's not any particular bat. If you're gonna be leaning to the left, I'll also. lean
sorry.
to the- No, that's cool. No, that's fine. Sit however you're comfortable. I can move the camera.
I
It's
gotta
fine.
figure out.
And now we can see my monkey friend over there. So it's totally cool.
Hello. I like how grass skirt Brant is passed out behind.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
I just realized I fell behind on the chat. See, I'm supposed to be practicing reading the chat, and I am not succeeding at that.
This is why you're practicing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I gotta go find some jugs.
So, Medical Pizza asks, have you guys considered making the friendly AI smarter? Yeah, so I've started playing the game more often at home than I've been historically, and I just had an experience in my own game where I went out, there was a scattered survivor who, called for help, and I think she was at a Plague Heart building. So I went and I took out the Plague Heart. I wasn't really prepared for it. Took out the Plague Heart, rescued this woman, and she's a programmer. I'm like, I've been looking for a computers expert. I can't get a computer textbook. I can't get anything, but I finally got a programmer. So I was bringing her home, and she was already half dead. We got into a couple of fights on the way back, and then we get home, and a siege is starting, and there's a juggernaut, and like 900 plague zombies, and she just runs right into the battle and starts fighting. I'm like, no, you idiot! Go inside the building!
Go
What's
be a
wrong with
computer
you?"
nerd.
And she got completely eaten, and I was like, okay, we have to prioritize our friendly AI. We are working on other stuff right now, but I agree with you. I understand the experience that you're having, and I'm very sorry. And so, yeah, we care a lot about this, and I know that we've got at least one designer who has been thinking a lot about how to make followers more useful in your game. So,
Ouch.
let's see here.
Oh, all right. Here we go. There's a freak.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Johnny.
So you got to melee these
Oh,
guys.
I'm not looking. Oh, look at that. Bam, bam, bam.
You're like Book of Eli guy a little bit. You don't have to be looking. You can just dodge. Man, you make our game look good, Brant.
Oh, get him. Yes.
Nicely done. Wow. Okay.
No problem. Expert. Okay, I know. Don't chat and say, listen, it's standard zone, so you're a wuss. The truth is, yes, I'm a wuss.
So since we've stuck by this rule, I'm changing the rule to be melee only freaks.
Except
No bloaters.
Bloaters,
No
you don't-
bloaters. You got to walk up to them and make them trip. You can't shoot them. Let's do it.
Okay, I agree to that. The whole like running up and trying to hit one with a melee weapon is not going to pan
Yeah,
out.
that's pretty
for
ridiculous.
anybody.
We were talking about potential future achievements, and I did have an idea for one that involved.
Whoa, I think these guys don't. Oh, they don't like me.
No, these are bad guys.
What did you say to them? I've never met these people, and they already hate us, Geoffrey.
I'm trying to remember what the idea for the. Oh right, I had an idea for an achievement where you put on the Jug Mask and you go walk into a bloater, and I was gonna call it Toxic Avenger. But we'll see if that one makes the cut. That's a lot of very specific coding for an achievement. Usually we go for just statistical ones because they're easier. And they're easier to not screw up.
It's hard for me to not jump out and try and find all the guns, but
Yeah.
oh, but there are probably some.
Oh, just right out here.
There are.
Is there a leg just sticking out of your tire? Okay, I think it went away. Despawned.
It happens.
You had a zombie leg sticking out from under your fender.
It does happen.
That was great.
Wow, that guy took a lot of hits. I'm gonna try and find a helmet. I want an army helmet.
So Jer of Jer says, "Hey guys, I love your team, and I've been playing this game nonstop. Thank you, Jer.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it."
Don't mind
you guys playing the game really does help us a lot because, basically the more our game gets played, the more clear it is to the powers that be that this game should keep being updated and we should keep getting to work on it.
That's right.
So, the more you play, the better it is for us, the better it is for the game, for you guys.
I got a hat.
Comes full circle. What kind of hat is it?
Army cap.
Army cap, nice.
Because I'm at the Army, so I'll put it on. Because that's another rule. If I find something,
You have to wear it?
I have to wear it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay, and I found 2. I'm gonna put on the desert camo one.
Perfect.
Oh,
Oh, on the wrong character? Sweet!
oh,
Who are you playing now? You're McCall.
I am so good at this game.
So McCall looks like one of my main characters actually in my game, whose name is Merci.
Right.
She's like my one of my long-term survivors from previous communities. She's one of my favorites. She runs around with just Senor Pokey and a revolver.
I like it. That's a good way to live. Okay.
So we're still trying to collect ammo and meds for the
So I just got
achievements.
another ammo.
Cool.
So I'm actually, if I'm looking for ammo, I should run into the police station too.
So Jack Ripper wants to know if we plan to add heavy weapons like the ones from State of Decay 1. Maybe. Barbecue Jake wants to know plans to add any police uniforms or anything like that. So we've gotten that suggestion multiple times in the stream, and I forwarded it to the strike team lead in charge of the costumes. We haven't actually made, some of our longer term plans are still very undefined, and he's like, oh, I like that idea. So who knows? That's definitely not a promise. But you guys' feelings on that, police uniforms, fire uniforms, things like that. We've heard loud and clear you guys are really interested in getting some of that stuff.
And now we have a delivery system that will allow us to expand in that area very easily. So keep the ideas
coming.
Yeah, keep the wish list coming. I myself was turned down for the Lucha Libre costume.
Oh man, who's this guy? Hey, we're in the bathroom right now. Wait your turn.
He's rude.
Well,
he paid for it.
Got what he deserved.
But since I'm in the police station, I'm going to.
A Great Data Game says, instead of just a Juggernaut mask, you guys should give us a bodysuit made of ferals and screamers. You're disgusting!
I know. Seek help.
What are you doing?
Seek help. I mean, that's too far.
No.
That is just too far.
Sorry, I feel it's a little bit too Silence of the Lambs.
It puts the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told.
Yeah, you got a feral down a pit, and yeah. Ugh.
Okay. This outpost is
Ugh.
It's a totally different game.
Yeah, sheesh. Wade Truitt suggests, could you guys add Diana's backpack, clothes, and crossbow from Heartland? Maybe.
Diana.
So
she was the
she
one
was
with the
lizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rainbow lizard.
All right, I got to look for ammo.
Oh, hey, Earning Mender. I hope everything goes all right for you. Thanks for joining us, especially since you've got important things going on. LucasR wants to know if we can have more hostile groups that are a real threat that could even take over your base and kill people and stuff like that.
That's a cool idea.
That is a cool idea. We've been tossing around some. The interesting thing is, like, right now, enclaves and infestations and plague hearts, they all work a certain way, and there's a lot of you got a tactical uniform? You got to put it on now.
I know. That's important.
There's worse things than having to put on a tactical uniform. But yeah, so we've put a lot of thought into the fact that, like, there's better ways that some of these things could work, but they would break the way that things work already. And so it's interesting to sort of figure out, well, how can we work in some of these ideas, find some way to, like, to really, to add another dimension to some of these things without breaking what's already working-ish. So it's complicated with like ideas like that where it kind of changes the way, and it's easier for us to understand under the surface how a change like that would change the way things work, sort of deeper in the game. It's
Where the heck?
It's interesting because I love the ideas you guys are thinking of, and I love the direction that it's going, and we just kind of have to find the right way to do it. And some of these things, the right way to do it is very expensive and time consuming. And so, so anyway, that's just a big, that just sort of, that particular idea, the idea of doing more with hostile enclaves, having them attack and take over your base, that sounds like a really cool thing, but I think there's some fundamental things that have to change with the way we're handling them generally for that to work.
Oh, I'm not looking for ammo, I'm looking for meds.
But I like it.
Geoffrey.
I thought you were looking for ammo. No, you got both. You got meds and ammo. They both are up.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a bad thing.
Do I have to turn it in? It's not just when I find it?
Yeah, it's when you turn it in. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm not allowed to use that meds either. Okay. Because people are so mean.
Jack the Ripper says that a biker gang enclave should show up and give you new clothes when you help them. That's an interesting idea. I don't think we've really considered having missions specifically be the source of clothes. Partly because missions are so random, it'd be really easy just to never have one spawn. And we're sort of riding the edge enough by putting some of them into the loot system, which also sometimes doesn't let things spawn.
No.
Oh no.
I want
There
to
we go.
clean up the inventory, run inside, do my dirt.
All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. So at some point we should switch out to a revolver, which was one of the suggestions that we got. Whenever you go back home,
Well,
switch it out.
I mean, because it was a rule, I better at least kill one zombie with the
crossbow.
Watch this shot. Achoo! Done.
I would not have called a shot like that.
Done.
Wow, that is amazing. Yago Rodriguez wants to know, will the game have motorcycles? I would not hold your breath on that one, because that brings with it, motorcycles are special. They're not just like another kind of car. The character, the physics on them is completely different from a car, and a character has to animate completely differently. And they can fall down, and you have to pick them back up again, and there's a lot of complicated problems to solve. So we would be unlikely to do it until we have spent those kinds of time and resources on a lot of other features that are probably more critical to the experience. So I'm not saying never, but at the same time, it would definitely be a really tall order, and it would have to, there's a lot of other cool ideas would have to beat in priority, which would be tough.
So I couldn't find a muzzle brake for the revolver yet.
Oh, we don't even have any at home? Can we craft one?
I think it's on one of my people.
Or do we have an engineer? Can we craft one at the workshop?
I doubt we have an engineer.
Let's see. I think it's there. Yeah, attachments and crossbows. Nope. Just the suppressor. Okay. But we can do that while we're at it.
Might as well upgrade, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wait, was there anything in there? No. Was there?
No. Nazumi fan just paraphrased me, saying, "I'm not saying never, but I'm not saying ever," that's a great line.
That is a great line.
Oh, so I should officially follow up. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-stream, but I should officially follow up. Last week we did a vote about my hair color and what color it was going to change to, and as you can see here, purple won. So this is what I looked like when I actually came out of the hairdressers. I actually had purple hair, I promise. But then I made the mistake of washing my hair every day, which apparently that's a thing you shouldn't do if you're trying to maintain a color. And so now you see, like, the color in the front of my hair there is a little blue. Basically, my entire head of hair is now that blue color. But I did go with purple. So now people who voted for purple and people who voted for blue, they both won. It's only the people who voted for red who are the big losers. So maybe I'll have to do red next time. Next time the hair totally fades and we're ready to go for a new color.
Oh.
So wait, did you just switch to the revolver?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta change the rules then.
I got no problem with the revolver rule.
Yeah, they're kind of my favorites too, just because it's you feel like more of a badass winning with a revolver because it's so limited. I mean, it'll last forever, but it's like, you got to reload more often than with the typical gun.
I'm gonna make it even harder to do this by just firing off
fireworks indoors.
Indoors.
Nice.
Just looking for meds.
Ooh, Bianc the Tonk says being able to transfer inventories with a follower in the field, so you don't have to drop or switch.
That would be so huge.
That was in the original design. We desperately wanted to do that, but it ended up getting cut for time. And that is like when people ask, actually, I think going back to the question, what cut stuff do you wish had made it into the game?
That one is definitely on the list.
So it's not completely crazy to be able to do it. It's just, again, we have to find the right spot in the priorities for it. But yeah, I would love to be able to do that. To bring a follower and have 2 full backpacks worth of inventories to be able to collect stuff with would be amazing.
Now that would be. Uh-oh, I'm running out of...
Jane Doe suggests a laser gun. We try to keep it a little bit more grounded than that around here.
Lasers.
We do like lasers, though.
I want to find a jug.
B-Downs, I'm doing a bad job of reading the chat, so I don't actually remember what your recruitment suggestion was.
Here he comes. Hello, Johnny Farrell. You don't look well. Oh, got a lucky shot in.
Nice. We had a suggestion that maybe we should make 22 revolvers quieter. Apparently they were quiet. They were much quieter in State of Decay 1 than they are in 2. I don't remember that well enough, but I mean that doesn't sound like a crazy idea. Would have to look into it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: revolvers are generally louder than.
That's true. They are kind of impossible to suppress,
yeah.
Except for very special cases.
Yeah, because the tolerances are a lot looser, and there's a lot more open spaces in them, so you're getting a lot more of the explosion, anyways. And it's a game. We have certain things that we really need. We have mechanics that we want to try and support. So those ones fell sort of under that.
Kai NT suggests incendiary ammo, wondering whether that was going to make a return from Yo's. Really like the idea. I think if we did it, so the way we did it in Yo's, we wanted, but when I say Yo's, of course, I mean the Year 1 Survival Edition. When we first came up with it, we actually really wanted to make it possible to just switch ammo types while you were aiming a gun, and just have it be an option for all shotguns to fire incendiary shells. I mean, incendiary whatever.
Yeah.
Rounds. And it ended up not being possible. Just with the time and resources we had to kind of work it into the existing ammo system, and so basically we needed to create a new category of guns that only shot incendiary.
Yeah, so we had to create a gun that was specific to that ammo type, which wasn't fun.
Yeah, and so I think if we wanted to do that, we would probably, this is just my guess, we would probably want to do it sort of the right way, which means spending a lot more time on it. And so it's a bigger feature because I think the next time we do alternate, we saw a jug, we got to kill it.
Yeah, heading over there right now.
So, I was less prompting you than just explaining what we were doing.
Hey, buddy. Hey.
Nicely done.
Oh, yeah. And then I follow up with a terrible hit.
Don't
ever say things nicely.
Do better, Brant.
See, now I'm gonna fail miserably. I am pushing all the wrong buttons.
So we've gotten a couple of suggestions for protective clothing. So if we did protective clothing, we would definitely need to do it.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
Separately from the existing outfit customization system, and so figuring out how to work it in with the existing outfit customization would be an interesting challenge, but one that I would love to take on.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna break a rule and use the one first aid thing I have because that's all I had.
Well, I think we only committed to only bringing light painkillers, so, or weak painkillers, I should say.
Come on, go ahead and just hit. There we go.
Good.
Oh, and the world gets worse. Because now I have just close quarters.
So,
She has such a cool outfit on. I don't want her to die.
Well, the outfit's free. So. What? That shockwave's gonna get you.
Game's terrible.
So we did have a suggestion from Typed Metal that we should only use close combat. And so it looks like we're getting it. Okay, so if you did run away from this jug, we didn't say we would never run away. You just have to come back and kill it.
Oh no!
I can't believe you're surviving this long.
Oh no! I was gonna say I finished. I finished what I started.
You do finish what you start.
No!
Oh!
Is she okay? I can't look.
Oh yeah. Oh
wait! I'm seeing the replay.
I think
Crap.
she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Oh wow. Oh wow.
It's my glasses. I need a new prescription.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong.
So while we're loading, Infamous Zach wants to know what our favorite State of Decay 2 base is. So mine is the Bridge Fort. Even though it's one of the smaller ones and doesn't give you a lot of power, it's been in our concept art from the very beginning, and it's always been one of my favorite ideas. And I actually, in my own game at home, I just switched to Container Fort, but I stayed in that Bridge Fort for as long as I could manage as my community grew and eventually outstripped it. But yeah, I like the Bridge Fort enough. I'll stay in it way longer than I should. You have a favorite?
I'm trying to think. I love the drive-in theater. It's kind of not very practical.
I like that we both picked impractical bases from the very beginning of development.
Yeah. I really like that base. The idea of it really makes me happy. Let's see. Other bases that I like are the farm in the middle of Meager Valley.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mostly because it's in the middle. All right. Let's see.
So, Overlord Rhapsody has a really interesting question. In the game's design, what level of realism do you limit on ideas? Like, would you do more high-tech mechanisms such as frost grenades, or would that be a stretch? I think it's interesting when you're trying to explore stuff that's outside of reality. It's not like you can just do everything you can think of, right? Like if you just decide to leave reality, then you can just do whatever you want. You still have to sort of decide what the aesthetic and the style of your game is.
Yeah.
And something that is sort of, it almost feels like it's a stand-in for like a magic spell, is still kind of probably outside the realm of what would be appropriate for State of Decay. Like we don't need everything in the game to be realistic. I mean, obviously zombies are not realistic, but we do like the game to feel. I think the difference between realism and authenticity, like something can be not realistic but still be authentic. It still feels real to you in the moment, and it feels like
if we were
legitimate.
Trying for a lot more realism, none of these people would survive waterborne illness after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. And so it feels like there's sort of an idea when you're sort of building science fiction worlds that that you should maybe, like, if you're going to do something that's magical that strains credulity, do one thing or only maybe two things. Just keep a limit on the number of very different new things you're adding to reality. And so things that grow out of our ideas underlying like the zombie plague and where it comes from. Like anything that grows out of that feels like it's in bounds, right? Because if we're going to be making a zombie game, we have to imagine that zombies are real. And so if zombies are real, anything that grows directly out of zombies being real, like all the weird stuff going on with blood plague and stuff like that, it all kind of falls in bounds. But something that comes out of like left field, like say frost grenades, might feel like, oh well, that has nothing to do with the zombies.
Well, and I mean,
it doesn't fit in quite as well.
I kind of actually felt that way a little bit with the guns that we designed for Daybreak.
Oh, that's true, because they were kind of coming from this whole Cleotech angle.
We went back and forth a lot and sort of agreed that while they were doing magnetic acceleration, we tried to make it look like it was garage magnetic acceleration.
Yeah.
So
because we didn't want it to have like too much of like a sort of a Buck Rogers sci-fi sort of feel, because that would just be wrong for the style of the game, right? Yeah. Like this is a game about people, with grounded, realistic technology doing, having to survive something fantastical with only the stuff you can actually find in reality, and going too fantastical with the player's capabilities kind of starts to lose a little bit of what that fantasy is all about, right? So you got to know your franchise. So that stuff is probably right on the edge of what's appropriate. Things to do with just generally things to do with Cleo, and things to do with zombies. That's sort of our two. It's like we decided, okay, go a little bit in this direction, a little bit in that direction, but no, we're out of directions at that point. We can't, like aliens are not going to invade this world because that's just a third thing. We do not need a third thing. Oh crap. Brant's been really, oh gosh.
Oh God.
Brant's been banking on aliens this whole time.
Okay.
Okay, well, you can have it
I'm
back.
back. I thought I turned the Xbox
Anyway,
off.
whenever I start monologuing, of course, I lose complete track of the chat.
So you know what is realistic? This person has decided to walk 4 miles across zombie-infested lands to go back and pay back that jug.
I mean, it killed their friend, right? You know.
And she's so mad she couldn't even walk out to the parking garage. She's like, I'm done. I'm gonna walk there so that my vengeance burns long and hot.
So Yago Rodriguez asks, so I realize that when you don't choose a leader, it gets harder to come. Harder to get missions to recruit people. Is that in my head, or does that really happen? I don't know about that being specifically related. That not choosing a leader would put that off exactly. But I mean, it is so many aspects of the game are so random.
Whoa.
It's really who signed on with Nigel on another Xbox One? What? What other Xboxes has our Nigel account? I think that one over there does, but nobody's messing with that one. Joe, do you know anything about Nigel being somewhere else? We're kicking them, whoever it is, we're kicking them off.
Yeah, I'm kicking them out.
Yeah, sorry, we're running the stream.
What about, do you have it at your house?
No, I never signed in with Nigel at home.
Okay.
That's really odd. Yeah.
Man.
So that used to happen to us when we were using my account, and the kids would sign me out at
That's
home.
right.
That's why we switched to Nigel, because he's only here. And there shouldn't be, like I said, I think I'm looking at the only other Xbox that has that account on
There
it.
is another Xbox, and it's probably on someone's desk right now. Remember when we removed the old TVs? So, those two migrated, and we got one, but there's another Xbox with Nigel
Floating
on
around.
somewhere.
Oh my gosh. Somebody needs to run around and find who's got that Xbox.
Just start shouting Nigel out the door and see what happens.
All right, awesome.
Now let's see where it's put me. I'm in the middle of my vengeance. Look at that! I can resume vengeance.
So in any case, I don't think that that having a leader is directly related to whether recruit missions spawn. Recruit missions definitely spawn a lot more when you have a lower population than when you have a larger population. That's the main thing that affects it, to my knowledge. Then again, so there's two issues. Number one, this is a complicated game, and I could be missing some factor that could make what you're saying true, and I wouldn't know about it. But then there's also the other factor of just randomness. Like when something is random, you're going to have spikes and valleys. You're going to have periods of time where the random thing is just not happening, and then it suddenly starts happening, and then it stops happening for a while. And when something is genuinely random, that's just how it goes. And so it's really easy. Like that's one of the things that our brains is hooked up to do is like it's like, oh, I think I see a pattern. Could these things be connected? That's like the main job of the human brain. So you're going to start seeing patterns that might not actually be real, but they're going to feel totally just as real as every other pattern you've ever seen in your life. So it's entirely possible that you've just had this genuine experience that's told you that that's how it works, even if it doesn't really work under the surface, just because that's how your luck has gone.
Oh man, I can't exact vengeance because the jugs moved on.
So Megan's pointing out to me that a lot of folks have been asking about raising the population cap and being able to recruit from your pool of survivors. Those are both features that we would love to do. Both of them are a little bit expensive, and so we'd have to find the right time to do them, but we're totally on board with wanting to do both of those things. We just need to figure out when and how. So, stay tuned. Definitely upvote those ideas on the wish list. If you go to support.stateofdecay.com, go to the community, I think it's still the community tab unless somebody changed something, and go to the wish list, and you can either add ideas that you have, or I'm pretty sure both of those ideas are already there. You can upvote them and make sure that we know that those are the most important ideas on your list. So, Rodan has a question. Do all the weapons with a maxed out power bar do the same damage? Or is it different? And if it is different, can we get numbers instead of the bar? So I'm pretty sure that bar does represent sort of the breadth of like of what weapons impact value can be. So if they're all maxed out, I think they all do have the same
there's a top
value.
end. There's a top end.
Okay.
I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, and so for most zombies, that bar doesn't actually matter that much. I think it might affect their knockdown a little bit or something, but for zombies, it's just hitting the head, which is a random roll unless you're using a gun.
oh, don't mind me. I'm just gonna go through the 2 different pockets you have available. Ugh.
Ugh. Can you do it over there too? Oh wow. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Buddy.
Oh, hey, so Joe pointed out, okay, good. I thought they were going to change this. There actually is a direct link to the wish list on the front page of support.stateofdecay.com. So you don't have to go click through the community tab anymore. You can just go straight there. So that's great. So remember, if you've got ideas, go to support.stateofdecay.com. Add your ideas, or find them in the existing list and upvote them so that we know that you care about them.
I really want to find. I'm just gonna pretend that the next jug I find is
the same one.
Is the perp.
Have we checked the map? Because a lot of times
it's not here.
Oh, weird. I guess actually, we left and came back, so that might
He
probably
also
has something to do
heard
with
I
it.
was walking. I was that mad that I was walking from my base. And I do have.
You are a good shot with that revolver.
I do have the muzzle brake on this one, so.
Perfect. For making as much noise as we
That's
possibly
right.
can. I don't think did that one go down? Maybe it did. It's
There's one crawling.
its dot lasted a little bit longer than I expected. There we go.
Just keep on calling jugs. I'm gonna find a jug. Now I'm on a mission. This is redonk.
Jax Seamus says, "Can you guys put a pot farm mod for bases?" Jax, when it says switch food for meds, that's what you're doing. You're making a
Not
pot
in
farm.
Australia.
Except in Australia. That's
You're not doing that in Australia.
No, you're making. I've heard that burning sage is really good for you.
You are making whatever the Australian government believes is acceptable natural medicines.
Exactly.
But everywhere else, yeah.
Okay, Gooniverse has a new rule. Resident Evil mode, stand still while shooting or reloading. You can't move while you're shooting.
I've already lost one survivor here.
I mean, I don't move that much when I'm shooting anyway, so that might not actually be that bad. I do like that idea, though, Resident Evil. You have to plant your feet when you're shooting, or even when you're just aiming your gun. It is a good idea to plant your feet when you're shooting, but
I'm gonna find a jug. Yeah, I mean, if
you can't take out that jug,
unless you're a trained soldier or somebody who does 3-gun competitions, you best leave your feet on the floor when you're shooting, or else trouble ensues.
Yeah, you completely lose control of that weapon, and you're not going to be happy when that happens. Virulent Ending says, if you hang around the stairwell of the big hospital there, you can hear a zombie upstairs. That is true. That is a really fun audio Easter egg. There's a few of those scattered around the map, places where you can hear something going on that you'll never see. We talked about a few of those when we were here with Alex Thomas a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was great. I should maybe I'll link that video at the on the end screen of this when I put it on YouTube.
I know what I should have done.
Or maybe I'll stick a card over on the. How do I point? Yeah, over on that corner. Maybe I'll stick a card for Alex's video.
Maybe if I use the systems that we've created for this game, I can actually find a juggernaut. I apparently have no problem finding ferals. Oops. Come on. There we go.
It's really once I get so used to playing the game with cheats on and stuff like that, like I never need to survey. So I'll site survey. Does that mean that we don't have any new freaks?
Yep. There's a feral inside the...
So on my game at home, I had 2 ferals inside of a rock near my base, and I couldn't do anything about it.
That's what explosives are for.
Oh, I guess so.
Oh no!
Bilbo says, "Oh no!"
Oh.
Bilbo says ferals are horses. Confirmed.
Almost
Ian Simpson, no, there was not a patch today. We're just doing the stream because we like to do the stream, not because anything special happened.
Oh, okay. Feral was not inside.
It was just behind it?
Okay.
We might have to consider this our revenge on that Juggernaut. Oh, no!
Oh, this is not good. Come on.
Zero Meat says, I had a Juggernaut in a swimming pool. I like it when they take out the other zombies. Nice. It'd be funny if one of those other zombies killed you while you were doing that.
That'd be so funny.
Can you? Oh, here we go.
I had to reload. I'm standing still.
GG30, I don't think we've announced the timing of the next update, but, you know, we're doing them fairly frequently now, so, you know, it won't be that long.
Man, that guy had... Come here, buddy.
Nice.
Bring it.
Bianca the Tonk is suggesting that we should add throwing knives for close combat specialists. Just infinite throwing knives. You'll be like a... You'd be like playing Gauntlet, or no, wait, is it Gauntlet?
Yeah.
You just constantly throw your weapon.
Yep. Yeah, the person who wants the throwing stars in the zombie apocalypse is going to be a zombie faster than just about anybody else, is all I'm saying.
Thomas Kruger, don't listen to Nezumi fan. Pay attention to the date that they listed. Thomas Kruger's asking about State of Decay VR, and Nezumi is telling them, yeah, April 1st, 2020. Like,
Nice.
Okay. I think I fell for one of those April Fool's headlines recently. Like it was like one from like 2015 or whatever, and somebody totally like posted the article like it was just a normal article, and I think it was the one. It was the one where apparently they said there was a film of gold around the inside of the Large Hadron Collider, and nobody knew where the gold had come from. And I was like, and it's just a random thing to lie about. I was just like, wow, that's weird, and I got totally into it. And then I was like, oh, and then somebody pointed out that it was on April 1st. I was like, oh, of course that's not true. At least those scientists would know why it happened, at the very least. But yeah.
All right, I'm still mad about it. I'm still Jug mad.
Rodan wonders, lore question, do jugs, screamers, etc. evolve from normal zombies, or does it happen when the person dies? That is a very good question that we have not answered.
Hello.
Here we go.
It's one of the Miller boys. Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is way better than rubbing my stomach against it. Man, hit him in the face. That weapon is particularly nasty. I love watching him smack the other zombies. Going toe-to-toe with this monster is great. Zero Meat says, rub his tummy. It's good luck.
Man, that was a long ways away. Take that right in the chops. Right in that kisser.
Hellhound asks, how hard is it to reskin cars? I think it's just artist time, like anything else. You know, it's about what it takes to. I think it's probably a little bigger than weapons, right? So
I wish it was just that easy.
Yeah.
Anytime we make another car variant, we expose ourselves to some tricky export issues. So cars
Oh,
are
interesting.
In theory, anything should be easy to reskin.
Yeah. But apparently there's some problems that I don't know about.
Because it's us.
It's
it may
hard.
actually break the game all the way to its core, erase it off your hard drive, and then chastise you forever playing it. No.
So in theory, it shouldn't be that bad. There's some complicatedness to it that makes it so it's not just easy. We can just do it whenever we want to, and it's competing with other things, right? I mean, the same people who reskin cars also make new weapons and things like that,
Yes.
and make new buildings and whatever. So it's
so sick of plague zombies.
we got to carefully choose which things we do, and also we have to decide. If we did decide to add new vehicles into the game, we'd have to decide how are we going to deliver it. Do we want to try to do it through the bounty broker? Do we want to, do it like the wizard van was, where it's just kind of free to everyone? Or there's a lot of different ways we could approach it. And we got to figure out the right way. And so I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we had a new a new vehicle skin as one of these updates. But
All I wanted to do was return a library book. Librarians back there like, yeah, no. Oh, see, you got my confidence up by saying I was pretty good with that revolver.
Running out of fuel.
oh, hey, Beats and Buttons is here. He says he fell asleep waiting for the stream.
That's how exciting we are.
Yeah, I know. We're super exciting.
Be warned,
Yeah.
we can... Oh, you know what? I'm in trouble. Yeah, it's time to cheat.
Yeah, unfortunately, Beats, you're not missing that much. we're
I'm
we're up to some nonsense right now.
I'm just losing my game here on standard.
Hanson Steel wonders, will I ever be able to find a survivor named Sarah Connor?
Nope.
I don't know for certain if both... I mean, Sarah is definitely on the name list. Connor probably is. I haven't actually... I'd have to double check that one. It's not one of the most common names in America, the way Sarah is. But probably. But the chances of you getting that exact pair is really, really, really low. Occasionally, I've actually rolled friends' names by accident, which was great. But it's like, if you're drawing from an entire list of everyone you know, it's a lot easier to eventually get one pair that's right, versus if you're aiming for one specific name. If you're aiming for one specific name, you are never going to get that name. Just ask Fallout Girl.
Yeah.
Compy Chompy asks, is there a cap on the number of infestations you can have on the map? I suspect so. It's been a long time since I've talked with anyone about that system, and so I can't promise you that's true, but almost anything in a game is usually got a limit on it somewhere. Because, you know, overdoing it can always just be a disaster. And so most programmers who have experience with games will put a limit, whether you ask them to or not, will put a limit on everything they do, because the last thing they want to do is be responsible for something completely tanking the game because somebody got too many of it. Like, I remember when before I ever joined the game industry, I would be playing the original Halo, and I would just shoot a grunt body on the ground again and again and again, and make an infinite number of blood decals spatter across the floor until the game slowed to a slideshow.
Oh, we actually did that. We had that because for a long time we didn't have a timeout for the ragdoll bodies. And
so you just fill the world up with ragdoll bodies?
No, all you had to do was shoot one around, and you could write your name in their blood trails, and it was it got pretty bad. So we had to, after a while, they just stopped working.
So, Love and several other people have asked, are we going to fix the invisible zombie glitch? I know I witnessed that coming to the attention of some of the sort of top folks on the team, and so it's definitely got their attention. I think that there's some investigation that needs to be done into exactly what's causing it, but we are aware of that.
Most likely, it's a client versus host thing.
Yeah.
Because often people will be like, I'm being attacked by a Inviso, and so the host has to run over, find them, kill the zombie, and then they're safe. So it's somewhere in there, but I'm not.
But what exactly is going on is a question for a programmer to answer.
We don't actually have network engineers. We have programmers who have done stuff, so, we got, their time is precious, so.
Yeah. So
we're working on it, though. I mean,
Yeah. So that one, I personally witnessed that one come to the attention of people who very much care about trying to get it done. So, again, as always, not making any promises about when or how.
Yeah. All right. I better say something. I said we're working on it. Don't take that as it's in our bug queue. I don't know what's in the bug queue for the programmers.
Yeah, and we definitely, even if we're working on it, that doesn't mean it necessarily will be in the next update. In fact, usually, if we started working on something right now, the chances of it being in the next update are pretty slim. There's some lead time on that stuff, so. White Owl asks, how many more maps do you want to make? I want us to keep working on this game into the indefinite future. Yeah, so, I wanna make, unbounded number.
I want to make 11,000 maps for this.
We will see what reality deals to us, but it's not a question of what we want to make. That's not what the limit is.
Yeah, it's never that.
Magic Man 79 wants to know if Cash Beaumont will ever wear a bacon suit. And I think he might now.
I think Well, if he did, we'd have to turn off his invincibility to zombie attacks.
Let's do it. Just when he's wearing the bacon suit, he just gets completely mauled by zombies.
Every single zombie in the map would go after him.
He's just completely covered in zombies and dies. Oh, that'd be great.
This
Love
is
it.
such a bad idea. Okay, I'm not gonna kill another character. I'm gonna go home and turn in this stuff. Actually, I need gas, but I'm gonna go home and turn this stuff in so that we get some credit before I do something stupid and kill our character again.
We only got 7 minutes left anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. I decided to stop at another play cart. No problem.
Absolutely nothing.
Right there. Oh, no big deal. Yeah. You just get all this gas. It doesn't see you.
There we go.
It can smell
What's
you.
from that?
Let's see. I
You
should.
don't need coffee.
No, I don't need the whatever that was. I'm not afraid of it though. Watch, I can just totally refuel this and not worry about. Who else tries to push the turbo button when they're refueling a car?
Me too. Yes.
I'm like, physics, dump faster. Oh, I got to make that guy trip. That's right.
Blasphemer asks, does the number of infestations on the map correlate with the number of hordes you encounter? So I think there are certain kinds of hordes, like hordes that have a screamer with them, that are spawned by infestations, but normal hordes just spawn normally like any other zombie. And so you shouldn't expect it to make a huge difference to the horde population if you wipe out infestations. And besides, the way infestations work right now, you wipe them out and they're all right back again really soon. And
I mean,
that's
hordes
one
are
of the,
supposed to work their way towards a specific spot, and then if they make it there, then there's a chance that they will infest that spot.
yeah. So I think some hordes do that and some hordes might not. I'm not dead certain. So that's actually one of the systems we have flagged as like, this doesn't make a lot of sense right now. We would love to go back in and do a better job of this particular system. That is on that list, and so I would love to be able to at some point tell you folks that we have that we've figured out a better way for infestations and hordes to work. But we're not there yet. So just sort of play fast and loose with those guys. Rokai Kupo wants to know, is the Reims V vehicle named after Ving Rhames?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Specifically because of his role in
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the
remake.
Dead. Yep.
Yep.
There we go. I love you 300. Only 300?
I love you 400.
Asks, can we get a new map, please? Maybe.
No. Yes, someday I hope that we are able to devote time to creating a new map for this.
That would certainly be one of our most asked for features.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want a new map? I do.
I would love one. That sounds
If it
great.
was up to me, I'd be working on one right now.
Right this second, and not playing this silly game with you folks.
No,
Just kidding. I love playing this silly game with you folks.
no, we love you guys. That's why we.
Let live kind of style.
That's why we. Keep
That's why we
coming
make
back.
this silly game for you folks.
They don't even want Geoffrey and I to do these streams.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Nice. Let's sort it like crazy quick
Look at
before
that.
it goes away.
look
Oh.
at that.
We're so close.
Only one Juggernaut killed though. What we should do is if you die to a Juggernaut while that's active, it takes away one. It puts a debit of 1 on that.
That sounds great.
So don't do what I did. Don't run out and get killed with your best character because you think you're good, which is what I did.
So Alec K says, would you go for more of a city map or another country map? So if we wanted to get a map done sooner rather than later, the best thing for us to do would be to come up with, to use a lot of the assets we've already got. And so to make a map that's got some distinctive features but also overlaps a lot with the maps we already have. So if we wanted to get a map out to you guys quicker, we would need to do that kind of map, do more of a rural map.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to do a city map, that's a more ambitious thing that would take more time, more resources, more money to get a whole bunch of new assets into the game. So take that comment for what it's worth.
Money. All right.
Well, We've got about 2 minutes left.
All right, I'm going to just start throwing... See if I can find one more jug right in the local...
Local vicinity.
Yeah, just run over to the edge here and see what happens.
Just jump right off.
Because I'm still mad.
Yeah, we haven't killed an... Oh, wait, who's that down there?
That's not a jug.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a larger zombie. I couldn't quite tell with the perspective. You're so... God. I can't believe you're making these shots. What the heck?
And then I missed the close ones.
Four shots for that one. Wow. But he was a moving target, though. He's a moving target. It's tough.
Don't even.
I gotta rest. Getting low on that.
See here. So Big Will says, I know this is a Q&A thing, you guys, but I wanted to say you guys are doing a good job and thank you for a fun game.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it when you guys say that. I mean, I feel silly, saying that out loud, like a compliment for us, but I wanted to acknowledge that you said it and thank you for it.
Well, I mean,
I gotta rest.
honestly, most of the time, the only people who take the time to comment on the game are people who telling us that we suck and we're bad humans. Like, we should, give up and...
Die in a fire.
Exactly. So it's great, given that's about 80% of the comments that people send. It's great to hear that people like it.
Yeah.
I should
Even though we know most of you do anyways, because you're hanging out with us in the middle of the day on a Monday.
my last
Yeah.
When, which we appreciate as well. But it's time, I think.
Yeah, I think we are out of time. So thank you again, everyone, for we're right at the right spot up here too.
Yeah,
Just,
I'm gonna cheer because we did
woohoo!
it.
We did do it. So so we're going to get out of here. So I'm Geoffrey. This is Brant. If you want to, look down in the doobly-doo. You can find our
What
Twitter.
did you call me?
You're a sports racer. You're a hard charger. Yeah, it's a deep internet meme cut. But yeah,
Will you
as
explain
is,
it to me?
I will.
Okay.
As is the word doobly-doo, which is the description on YouTube. Our Twitter accounts are down there. You can talk to us, and we would love to hear from all of you because we love that you're playing our game. We love that we get to do this stream with you guys. So really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for coming out.
And we'll get out of here. Oh yeah, so Halloween week coming up. We're gonna have something special.
I think people should make sure that they log in from between October 25th and the end of the month.
I guess I should have put those numbers up there, huh? Yup. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be good.
Don't call it good. It is gonna be.
It's gonna be something.
It's gonna be something.